Speaking of a joke of a football program, we got to talk about Florida State.
All right. So, Joe, it was announced today that Mike Norvell's making a move. There was some scuttlebutt earlier this morning that maybe it was him that was getting fired. It wasn't. Florida State has made a move. They're firing pretty much their entire offensive staff here, Joe.
Well, so this article from 2 hours ago on The Athletic, it says that they're firing Alex Atkins, Adam Fuller, and Ron Duggins, who's their wide receivers coach. So that's their OC, their DC, and their wide receivers coach that they're getting rid of. I don't think anyone's really surprised. This team's god-awful. Anyone who watched, like me, like a total nut job, watched that Notre Dame-Florida State game, and I wish you could get your time back, and I wish I could have gotten my time back, knows that this team has no life. It's got zero energy. It is insane to realize that we at one point were talking about nationally as both of those coordinators as top coordinators at their respective positions, and this is the result that we're at right now where they've got one win and they're getting fired. The next biggest question is Mike Norvell next? And I don't know if it's feasibly possible for them to fire him because the buyout is probably going to be so freaking huge. I don't know where the hell they go from here. There's never been this big of a drop-off. This is insane how bad they are.
Better come to a settlement.
Did Ed O get an extension after the national championship? That's the first thing that popped in mind. So what did they do to get rid of him?
They came to a settlement.
Okay.
He didn't take the whole thing, but he gave a hometown discount too.
So he willingly left.
But here's the problem. They had a lot of shit on Ed. You know, the blondes, the titty pictures with blondes, and they had a lot on Ed. I don't know if they have a lot on Norvell. So, to the point of all this, Joe, this has got to go on Norvell. I mean, you run this ship. You are the one that made your team and program go in the direction of going in the portal. It's how you built it. So you can blame Alex Atkins, you can blame Adam, you can blame anybody. No, you decided to do that. You decided to do that. And you went in the portal and you had tons of success, but these portal kids, they don't want to play for you. They're not kids that have a culture here and love Florida State. And it's killing you. And Joe, here's the truth. At a place like Florida State, Mike Norvell should be fired. The only reason he's not is because there's a massive buyout. And now Florida State is stuck. But listen to me and listen to me well. Florida State fans are about to kill me on this. But you know how I feel about them right now is a little bit like this is karma coming back on your ass for all the shit you did to the ACC. This is karma.
Well, I think that they know that. I think that they understand that this is 100%
you get what I'm
karma.
saying?
Yeah, no. I think
it's karma. And so now you're in a place, and listen, for the fans, I really hate this. Like, we're really good friends with TJ Pittenger. Mm-hmm. Fantastic college football show, by the way. Y'all need to go check it out. I hate it for him. But, man, this feels like karma coming back on your ass. So I know they're firing guys. The truth be told, I mean, are you willing to do this again? Joe, are you expecting this to get better? Because they got to go in the portal again now. Now they got to go back into the portal.
That's my whole point here is, like, how does this thing transform? Because, like, at least we were critical of Brian Kelly, and we talked about all that, and you at least look at the bright future that could be.
Yeah, but he's not 1-9. Right.
Right. He's not 1-9. And he also, if he was 1-9, one could argue, hey, he's got a bunch.
Oh, buddy.
Right. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is that Mike Norvell does not have a good recruiting base in high school recruiting that he can turn to. They've lived and died off of the portal. The mentality of the roster summed up with, I think it was Patrick Payton who hopped in the portal and then left the portal to return to the team in an effort to strong arm them into giving him more money. They don't have guys that are bought into the program right now. They don't have guys that came in as high schoolers that wanted to be there. I don't know how you find that and fix that in a season. And I don't know what it's going to take or change to get rid of him in a short period of time. It's probably going to be extremely difficult. I don't think that there is the main point here. There's no way to fix this. There's none. Mike Norvell is staring down a massive wall that he has to figure out how to get through.
Oh, but You know what wall it is? Remember Game of Thrones? Remember the ice wall?
I think I want to watch Game of Thrones.
Okay, well, Joe.
I've told you this 100 times.
Okay. That's how big the wall is. Buddy, I don't think it's fixable. I really don't, because he's got to go back in the portal now. Yeah. Now, the only way it's fixable is if you get guys that come in here and you hit on the portal again. But to sustain this, you better start getting to high school recruiting. And by the way, Joe, they're losing dudes. CJ Wiley flipped. I think a quarterback flipped. I mean,
and I don't blame him. They shouldn't want to freaking go play for him.
This is as bad as it can be. Let's make something very clear.
You're bad. The product on the field sucks, and kids are decommitting.
I don't know how you can't look at Norvell and say, like, hey, man, we're going to find a loophole in here. We're going to give you $20 million and you're out. Like, do what you got to do, but you're out. So they're not going to win another football game, I don't think. I really don't know. I don't know their schedule. Maybe they have an FCS opponent, but geez Louise, man. Jeez Louise.
Let's see really quickly. What do they have?
They have an FCS team this week.
They have Charleston Southern.
All right, hold on.
They've got Charleston Southern.
They've got Charleston Southern and the points this week.
They have They have a bye week, then Charleston Southern. So they're off this week. They've got Charleston Southern.
I'm taking the bye week versus Florida State this week.
And then they've got Florida to wrap the season. That's the worst football game ever. We get to watch Brock Glenn.
You know what's likely going to happen?
What?
Because Lagway's probably going to be back by that point because it's a hamstring. They're going to dominate the shit out of Florida State.
That's a good point.
Bro, can you imagine? Florida's that bad and comes in and dominates you. And what if Florida has to get a win to be bowl eligible?
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.